Here, let me give you a hint. The chart illustrates a recognition model. People recognize a thing by separating it to other things by a scope and figuring its internal attributes. They also recognize a thing by relation with other things, that are its external attributes. In other words, people recognize a thing by separating it to other things by a scope and figuring its internal and external attributes. And in a broad sense, a scope can also be considered an internal attribute of a thing. In that sense, you can simply say that people recognize a thing by its attributes. You can also say that people recognize a thing by breaking it down into its attributes. Further, rewording attributes with elements or properties, you can also say that people recognize a thing by breaking it down into its elements or properties. And another way of saying that people recognize a thing by its attributes is people's recognition is made up of its attributes. And being made up of attributes is the form of human recognition. Not many people are aware of this, but, in accordance with this form of recognition, all of us recognize all things, think based on the recognitions, and communicate with others. Also, many people seem to think that attributes of things are only internal attributes, but you should keep in mind that attributes of things can be external attributes, which are relations with other things. In addition, not only direct relations that things have with other things, but also indirect relations that those other things have with other things can be considered external attributes of things. And please note that relations between internal attributes of a thing can also be internal attributes. Now, here's another hint to unravel what is essence. For over 2,000 years, many philosophers have tackled this mystery, including the famous ancient Greek philosopher, Socrates. Let's make use of their research results here. In philosophy, essence is often considered something that makes a thing what it is. In addition, essence is said to be universal. In other words, in philosophy, essence is often defined to be something universal that makes a thing what it is. But what exactly is something universal that makes a thing what it is? Their theory has yet to answer this simple question. We want to know what exactly something universal that makes a thing what it is. So, here and now, let's try to find out for ourselves what exactly something universal that makes a thing what it is. As we saw on the previous page, since people recognize a thing by its attributes, something universal that makes a thing what it is must be a universal attribute that makes a thing what it is.